on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Alexander, UVRU. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here at some point. Anyway, today is, what is today? Sunday, that's right, Sunday. I should have known, like, it's very, very hot today. August 23rd, my brain's melting, 2026, I was about to say 22. Wow, I'm really, my brain's cooking, but not in a good way. Anyway, this show's about interesting and important events that happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Look at all these tabs we got here to go through today. We have a 43-page document, so a little on the longer side, but hey, it's going to be a great show. We have some really good stuff here, you know. Starting us off, in the year 79, Mount Vesuvius began stirring on the feast day of Vulcan, the Roman god of fire, and went on to destroy Pompeii. This is the approximate date. We will be talking about this again tomorrow. You know, actually, like, if I do this here, August 24th, so, yeah, events. See, we're going to be talking about, not the first thing, though, looks like. But anyway, let's image search this really quick. So, and it taking place during a festival, no less. From what because there's a billion and one videos out there, you know, on YouTube and whatnot about everything. So it's not as if like it just happened. There was a lot of earthquakes and you know, warning signs and everything that we know that them as warning signs now, but back then, you know, they didn't. But anyway, it wasn't as if it just like, you know, happened. So anyway. What else do we got here? 406 battle at Florence. Stilicho's Roman army defeated Gothic leader Radagasius' barbarian force of possibly 200,000, drafting some into the Roman army and selling the rest into slavery. So it says here from the other source, so the Western Roman army under Stilicho cornered and defeated the Ostrogothic army in the Battle of Vesuvius. 406 as well. Actually, no, this is this is the same thing here. Radagasius, Goth leader who invaded Italy with a large force, was captured and executed by the Roman army. So there we go. 476, Odoacer was proclaimed king of Italy by his troops, becoming the first barbarian king of Italy. So it says here from other source, Odoacer, chieftain of the Germanic tribes, Herluc and Cicrian Foderati, was proclaimed Rex Itali, the king of Italy, by his troops. 1046, King Henry III gave money to Utrecht Deventer Diocese. What the heck is that? Why is he giving money? What's going on? Utrecht history and timeline. Important dates. Okay, well, this is my primary source here. Just giving us a list of everything involving Utrecht and whatnot. So, okay. But as far as, okay, what is this? This just tells me that it happened. So if anybody can look this up, that'd be wonderful. Let us know your findings in the comment section. So, you know, like, why is he giving money to Utrecht Deventer Diocese? What is the Utrecht Deventer Diocese? I can't even pronounce this word here. Let's look this up here. List of Catholic dioceses in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Okay, well, that's another list and everything. We got to move on up here to 1059. Treaty of Melfi. Pope Nicholas II recognized the Norman conquest of southern Italy by appointing Norman adventurer Robert Guiscard, Duke of Aquileia and Calabria, and Count of Sicily. 1244. Siege of Jerusalem. The city surrendered to the Khwarizmiya, ending Christian control of Jerusalem for the next 672 years. Wow. 1268, the Battle of Tagazio, the army of Prince Condren was nearly destroyed by Charles of Anjou, ending Hohenstaufen control over the Kingdom of Sicily, leaving the Angevins in control. 1305, Scottish patriot William Wallace, you know, the guy from Braveheart Screams Freedom, was executed for high treason by Edward I of England at Smithfield, London. He was put on trial and subsequently hanged, drawn, and quartered. I believe he was also beheaded and his head was put on the pike. And to my knowledge, the only person who suffered worse than William Wallace was Jesus Christ himself. You know? So, I mean, that's like what they did to William Wallace was just brutal beyond my understanding. But it's telling me to image search this really quick, so I'm going to do that. So yeah, right here, he was brutally executed in London, yet his martyrdom transformed him into a timeless symbol of Scotland's defiance and struggle for independence, in which they're still, well, they're not actively fighting for it because they are subject to the British Crown, but, you know, one would say the fight is still going to this day. 1328, we have the Battle of Cassel. French troops stopped the uprising of Flemish farmers. And we will be talking about a farmers' uprising later on as well. We spoke about a little thing yesterday, though, like the formation of the of this actual thing with Caesar Chavez at the top.
Oh, yeah.
At the head of it. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that again as well.
The Union.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, we've already spoken about Vesuvius, just to name a handful of things. Vesuvius erupting, approximate date. As I mentioned, we will be talking about it again tomorrow because it's the approximate date. So
What is it? What year is that?
70-something?
Don't go back.
Yeah. We have the fall of Jerusalem. So for the next 672 years or something like that, it'd be under Muslim control. The Christians lost it. We just talked about William Wallace here. Like, he was put on trial and subsequently hanged, drawn, and quartered, and what all that. And he was also, I believe, he was beheaded and his head put on a spike. And I mentioned the only person, to my knowledge, who suffered more than William Wallace, at the hands of torture and all that stuff, was Jesus Christ himself. Anyway, 1382, the Golden Horde, led by Khan Tokayev, began the siege of Moscow, which ended 4 days later with the storming of the city and the death of Muscovite Prince Osatai. So, image search this really quick, and this is a different set of images than what I got earlier. That's interesting. There was a picture here of there it is. Okay, it's way farther down. That was weird. But this is just how many times did the Russians defeat the Mongol horde? So I think that is Moscow back in the day. I'm not entirely sure. But, the Russians and the Mongols, were at each other's throats for quite a while. That's impossible to read. What else we got here? 1441, Holland and Hanseatistan signed a ceasefire treaty. A ceasefire. So it means, there's firearms and everything.
Yeah.
Like, what would... Before guns, what would be the equivalent of a ceasefire? Like a sword sheathing?
Well, I don't think they would use the word fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm
but
saying.
it would be sword attacks or whatever it is that you war with.
Like an armistice?
Spears, swords, horses, invading.
Yeah, but what would the actual term be? Like an armistice or something?
I don't know.
What
I don't know.
Was there an equivalent of ceasefire before guns were used in warfare?
Well, now you're talking. First off, you're talking in English, and so ceasefire. That's an English word, so I don't know what other words would be similar to it.
I don't think you're fully understanding my question. Like what I'm saying is,
what's the terms for stop fighting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I really don't know.
But we still use armistice today.
True.
We have a ceasefire and we have an armistice. I don't know. If anybody knows,
Surrender?
No, that's
something else.
That's capitulation.
Yeah.
1500, Governor Francisco de Bobadilla arrived in the Indies and soon after arrested and sent former Governor Christopher Columbus, yes, that Christopher Columbus, back to Spain in chains.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, because Columbus was going around, literally, having his way on the natives and pillaging and just everything. All the horrible things that they say about white people.
Guy.
No, he wasn't. This is just telling you about Francisco de Bobadilla. That's an interesting... Bobadilla, hey.
And back east in the northeast of our country.
Yeah.
Columbus Day is a huge holiday.
Yeah, even though we never set foot on the actual North American continent. Central America, yeah, I guess that would be considered North. So.
He was Italian, right?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know, actually. Hold on a second.
I believe he was.
Christopher Columbus. Yes, he was. Okay, there we go, yeah. But he found, he sailed on behalf of Spain and all that stuff. There's a whole history behind him. 1521, Christian II of Denmark was deposed as king of Sweden, and Gustav Vasa was elected regent. I wonder if this is that same
Regent?
Vasa.
What does that mean?
Regent.
Regent. Okay.
Regent. Yes.
Right.
I wonder if this is the same Vasa from that ship. Remember that ship we spoke about that sank
immediately? Yeah.
It was named after the guy Vasa. I think this was the same guy here. 1541, French explorer Jacques Cartier landed near Quebec City on his third voyage to Canada, accompanied by 5 ships and 1,500 people to establish a colony. The colony, though, fails ultimately after 2 years. So, but right here, here's a artist depiction right there in the bay. Actually, that looks like Douglas is a prosperous town, so that can't be the area. You know, if it failed after 2 years, it wouldn't get to this big in
not.
2 years and then
No,
fail.
and then fail, no.
No, there's no way. That's ridiculous. 1542, Rabbi Joseph Caro completed his major work in the Beit Yosef, a voluminous, like volumes.
Voluminous.
Yeah. Commentary on the Arabah Tiram code. Okay, I'm going to look that up here really quick. I've never had to say that word before. I understand what it means, I just don't know how to say it. The Beit Yosef book. Okay, well, let's see here. Is a long and detailed commentary on the halakhic code of Arabah Tiram by Jacob ben Asher. The which Rabbi Kara wrote later in his life is a condensation of its rulings. Oh, that's my brain's not working. Condensation, not like the water on the glass, you know, but like a condensation. That's weird. Like, are those two words spelled the same way? I've never heard condense used as like a verb, an adjective. My brain's just not working here. Let's see, the Beit Yosef. Let's throw this in here. This link and all our links we gather throughout the show will appear in the other bar in the description below after the live stream, as per usual. We already have a lot of cool things down there, though, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Various sources, the music in the background, which it is playing good, and a handful of other cool little nifty things. We're going to move on up here, though, to 1566. Bill into the storm. Iconoclastic fury reached Amsterdam. That doesn't sound good. What's going on here?
No. What is it?
Beeldenstorm? Let's see, were terms used for outbreaks of destruction of religious images that occurred in Europe in the 16th century, known in English as the Great Iconoclasm or Iconoclastic Fury. During the there's an E there, of iconoclasm, Catholic art, and many forms of church fittings and decoration were destroyed in unofficial or mob actions by Calvinist Protestant crowds as part of the Protestant Reformation. Most of the destruction was of art in churches and public places. That is a tragedy. Like that, I'm gonna cry, dude. That's terrible. Beeldenstorm. Dude, like nobody seems to understand. Like Christianity is the most persecuted religion in all of time. I mean, there's been a bunch of horrible things like the Holocaust and whatnot, but over all of past 2,000 years, nobody's taken more hits. I mean, like even in modern day, not the most recent ones, but the Olympics, the last one.
Yeah. They
had that whole a Last Supper thing. But it was all like a bunch of LGBTQ things, all that stuff, which is fine, whatever. But they were doing it in a way to mock Jesus and everything, and it's just it's ridiculous. I don't understand why there's so much hate. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say we've had a lot of articles of running Jews out of different countries.
Oh, we have.
And things, so I don't know. They've been persecuted a lot also.
Yeah, but who's the one writing it ultimately?
Well.
So
you can say that with any topic of anything in here.
Yeah. Well, just saying, if Jews really were as hated as history wants us to believe, then it wouldn't be saying any of it now, would it? Something keeps pushing it. So, 1572, French Wars of Religion, mob violence against thousands of Huguenots in Paris resulted in the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre. Yikes. 1595, Michael the Brave confronted the Ottoman army in the Battle of Cavalry. So during a long Turkish war, Wallachian Prince Michael the Brave confronted the Ottoman army in the Battle of Cavalry and achieved a tactical victory.
Oh.
Brave indeed.
Tactical victory. What does that mean? He didn't really win, but he kind of...
No, tactical, not technical.
Technical, I know.
Tactical. So,
yeah.
Which means he did like a tactics
His
that
tactics work.
Yes.
Yes.
You know
I
what?
got what it means.
You
but
know
it's
what?
It's not like he overthrew him or something.
Well, I mean, what are you talking about? Overthrow?
Well, what's a tactical verdict?
In military tactics, a tactical victory may refer to a victory that results in the completion of a tactical objective as part of an operation, or a result in which the losses of the defeated outweigh those of the victor, although the victorious forces failed to meet its original objectives. So, not a full victory, but attack. You know, you
Yeah.
you completed the main mission, but none of the
Right.
side quests, essentially. So, well, you know, I'm gonna throw this in the anniversary tactical victory. Throw that in there, just in case anybody wants to read up on that. 1600. We got the Battle of Gifu Castle. The eastern forces of Tokugawa Ieyasu defeated the western Japanese clans loyal to Totoyami Heidorie, leading to the destruction of Gifu Castle and serving as a prelude to the Battle of Sekigahara. 14 years later, the University of Groningen in Netherlands opened. Pretty cool, and I do have an image for that. That's a night picture right there. Yeah. So, image search this, so we get to see this this building. And you know, I didn't want any pictures of, you know, with people in front or bicycles. You know, that just looks like, you know, this would have been nice though. But oh no, a lot
Still
of
got
bikes.
some bicycles.
Yeah. Well, this one still does, but like we
That's
only
awesome,
saw.
but you don't even see that with all the lights behind it.
Yeah.
But it kind of doesn't show the time of 16, 17, or 14 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless it's an artist rendition, like a painting or a drawing or something, there's no way. And who's out there painting freaking universities? 1617, first one-way streets opened in London. So first one-way streets, well, by 1617, there are no cars. Still a couple hundred years away. So I guess like
but
for
there's
horses
and buggies. Yeah.
Huh.
You only can go one way.
That's intriguing. They had such a thing for horses and everything. Yeah. But if you actually if you look at
it's getting too congested. They got to solve the problem.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just going to bring up, we spoke about Vesuvius earlier. They've noticed in Pompeii in the streets there's grooves in the road, and those are the wheels of the wagons. Like over centuries.
Yeah.
1628, George Villiers, the first Duke of Buckingham, was assassinated by John Felton. Yikes.
I'm gonna interrupt,
right.
but I was just gonna say, going up in France into the
Louvre?
No, not the
Eiffel
Louvre.
Tower?
No. What's the church?
Oh, Notre Dame?
Notre Dame. Going up to see the bell tower, how the steps are all worn away.
yeah.
That just blew me away.
Yeah. Like, actually, hold on a second. Like, I'll
Anyways.
Look. No, I want to look at something here. Notre Dame steps. Can't really see it that well here.
No.
Oh, here we go. This one, I think, is good. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. Look at that warp right
they're
there.
They're really worn, not just a little bit. They're really worn.
Well, I mean, like,
thousands of years or whatever it is.
I don't think thousands, but
I don't think it's. I don't know.
Hold on.
Well, until the fire, anyways. I don't know.
Well, hundreds definitely. Hold on a second. Notre Dame. Notre Dame completion. Yes. No, not 2024.
That's when they rebuilt
yeah,
it.
Renovated or whatever.
They had to rebuild it. The thing was burnt to the ground, practically.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Fire in Notre Dame?
Recently.
Yeah.
No, it didn't burn down the whole thing. It just knocked down. It did some damage.
That's overstating it, but it was.
Do you have any idea? There's no way we would rebuild the entirety of Notre Dame. There's no way we can do it. It would cost billions of dollars to source all those stones. Are you kidding me?
Well, okay. Down to the ground was not accurate.
Yeah, that's
a major
massive
part of
overstatement. Well, it wasn't a massive part. Fire.
Okay.
Like, hold on a second.
How much was ruined of Notre Dame?
Notre Dame fire. No, it was just a minor damage. Like
that wasn't minor. Holy cow!
Well, there's a fire.
The thing was gutted.
No, it wasn't. It was just the top of the spire. Like, it's just the roof. It wasn't. The roof came down, but that's it. It wasn't gutted. Look at that. That's the interior.
No, it wasn't gutted. You're right.
Why do you keep overstating it? Like, it wasn't a small thing, but it wasn't this massive, like, world-ending event. There it is, right there, the roof, and that's pretty much it. The biggest loss was the central spire that they did lose.
Yeah.
But no, hold on a second. Notre Dame original completion. Let's see here. 1345.
Okay.
1163 to 1345.
You're right, it is hundreds.
Yeah. So it's approaching 1,000. No, another couple hundred years. Anyway, 1703, the Adrian event, Sultan Mustafa II of the Ottoman Empire was dethroned. I wonder why, how, it's telling me to look up that event, but we got to keep on going. 1711, British fleet under Admiral Hovhannon Walker lost 950 men when 8 ships founder on rocks at Ile-aux on their way to attack Quebec. And if anyone thinks I just had a stroke reading that, no, that's what Ile-aux, please. Sounds like I'm a cartoon character falling down the stairs or something. But didn't we cover that yesterday? With like several ships hitting rocks, losing like a bunch of people and everything.
We could have.
Yeah.
We did lose something. I don't remember the topic though, but yes,
Yeah.
you're right. We did talk about something like that.
1775, during the American Revolutionary War, or what would become it, King George III delivered his proclamation of rebellion to the Court of St. James, stating that the American colonies have proceeded to a state of open and avowed rebellion. We covered that yesterday as well. 1782, British forces under Edward Despard completed the reconquest of the Black River settlements on the Mosquito Coast from the Spanish. 2 years later, Eastern Tennessee settlers declared their area an independent state and named it Franklin. A year later, the Continental Congress rejected it.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was in western North Carolina, which is now eastern Tennessee, but you can see right here where it was. Actually, it's hovering up right here, so it's not up into Kentucky and Virginia. This line here is this line here. So it's like, they're 3Ding the image.
Yeah.
It declared itself an independent state under the name of Franklin. It was not accepted in the United States. It only lasted for 4 years. So, and like we were looking at some places possibly to move to in what was Franklin.
Yeah.
I think. So.
Yeah.
1789, during the French Revolution, the National Assembly proclaimed freedom of religious opinions. I'm all for that. 1793, French Revolution, the National Convention adopted the Levier en masse, conscripting all able-bodied men between the age of 18 and 25 for military service during the French Revolutionary Wars. Was that an exasperation of heat?
Yeah.
Because it's 100 degrees right now?
Not now. But
Yeah.
It is hot.
1796, African Methodist Episcopal Church was incorporated. That's pretty cool. 99, Napoleon Bonaparte left Egypt for France en route to seizing power. So he was going back because he's been gone for a while, conquering and everything.
Yeah.
And back home, people are moving around to take his position because he's not there to defend it. 1831, Nat Turner's rebellion of enslaved Virginians was suppressed. And we covered that a little bit yesterday, and that was like a really nasty rebellion. 1838, Mount Holyoke Female Seminary in South Hadley, Massachusetts, graduated as first class. It's awesome, yeah. 1839, British captured Hong Kong from China. The United Kingdom captured Hong Kong as a base as it prepared for the first Opium War with King China. 1850, the first U.S. National Women's Rights Convention convened in Worcester, Massachusetts. All right, Worcester, named after the sauce, something. Worcester sauce. 1864, Union troops and fleet occupied Fort Morgan, Alabama. Not just that, thus breaking Confederate dominance of all ports on the Gulf of America except Galveston and Texas. 2 years later, 1866, Treaty of Prague ended with the Austro-Prussian War. So, okay. 1869, first carload of rail freight containing boots and shoes arrived in San Francisco from Boston after a 16-day trip. Rail freight. So, and what's really interesting is just 3 years later, exactly, in 1872, we have the first Japanese commercial ship visited San Francisco carrying tea. So we have two back-to-back, 3 years apart exactly, of major shipping. Logistics, transport, trade, movement of materials, everything, by rail and by sea. That's awesome. 1 year later, Albert Bridge crossing the River Thames in London opened. All right, let's take a quick image search of this bridge. What is this? Oh, we'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, right here, it is indeed a bridge with bridge-like qualities and structures. A very bridgy bridge. 1883, Philadelphia Quakers made 27 errors against Providence Grays in a 28-0 shutout defeat at Messer Street grounds. Wild pitches, walks, and pass balls count as errors in MLB prior to 1888. Really?
Oh, okay.
Really? Huh.
That's weird.
Wow. So they got completely screwed. if you consider today's rules, Steve.
Yeah, no, that's not a bunch. That's not. I don't know how many wild pitches and fast balls there were.
Yeah. Well, what's a wild pitch? Wouldn't that still be an error?
That's the pitcher throwing it over the catcher's head or something.
Oh.
It goes wild.
Huh. I think the number one wild pitch was the one that hit the poor lady on the gurney after she got hit the first time.
But that was off a bat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, how did it get to the bat? Cause and effect. 1896, the first cry of the Philippine Revolution was made in Pugan, Lawen, Quezon City, in the province of Manila. 2 years later, the Southern Cross Expedition, the first British venture of the heroic age of Antarctic exploration, departed from London. 1900, National Negro Business League, organized in Boston. Okay. 3 years later, Sixth Zionist Congress, Theodore Herzl declared a Jewish state. Here we go with these Zionists. 1904, the automobile tire chain was patented. All right, that's what this thing is.
Oh, for snow and stuff?
No, for the mud. Sorry, that was a bit of a facetious reply.
Wow.
Yes, for the snow. Well, like, what else do you use tire chains for? I'm sorry. I mean, like, maybe more, maybe because it's in bands, like, it can probably act like as a very inefficient paddle. Possibly. I'm going
to stop adding color. That's it. Silence is golden.
No. 1906, Chicago White Sox won the 19th straight, defeating Washington Senators 4-1 at American League Park. And while that was going on, Cuba's first president, Thomas Estra Palma, asked for U.S. intervention. Huh. So right out of the gate, Cuba, asking for help. 1910. Fred Clark set a record with 4 outfield assists for Pittsburgh. Was that like a team record or a league record? It just says a record. Oh, yeah. For Pittsburgh. 1911, British Prime Minister H.H. Asquith held secret meeting about British strategy in case of war with Germany. That's a bit of a prelude right there. Actually, we're going to be talking about another prelude in 1939.
Oh, yeah?
Involving Poland.
Oh, yeah.
Well, without their knowledge. 1914, Battle of Mons. General Alexander von Kluck's troops forced a British withdrawal. What a name, Alexander von Kluck. Was he a chicken? Is he a cocky fellow?
I thought the weird was the first name, Alexander.
Yeah, hey. From other source, the British Expeditionary Force and the French Fifth Army began the Great Retreat before the German Army. I think we covered this yesterday, actually, or the day before. We covered something starting a retreat or something, whatever. Hold on. Covered this recently, question mark. 1914 as well, General von Hassen executed 612 inhabitants of Dinant in Belgium. German troops plundered Belgium. Japan declared war on Germany in World War I. 1916, military court of Berlin sentenced the socialist Karl Liebknecht to 4 years. Probably because he was a socialist, political opposition or something. Makes sense. 1917, we have a race riot in Houston, Texas, resulting in 2 black people dying and 11 white people being killed as well. Or 2 black people getting killed, dead. Yeah. It's terrible, no matter what. 1919, Gasoline Alley comic strip premiered in the Chicago Tribune, and never heard of Gasoline Alley. That sounds, it's like something very terrible today. Like a war crime. We set fire to 1,000 people in Gasoline Alley. It sounds like something horrible. 1920, Canadian swimmer Warren Keala won his first of 2 consecutive Olympic gold medals in the 100-meter backstroke, defeating teammate Ray Kiergers at the Antwerp Games. I just thought of something. Remember we covered that that vehicle that went underwater at one time?
Have to be more specific.
The mud crab.
The what?
The drove underwater.
Yes.
I was just thinking, did it have tire chains? I'm sorry,
wow.
you do bring a lot to the show. I appreciate it. 1920, we got Did I get the this one here? The swimmer.
We are so off base.
1920 Stadium. Yeah, I covered Stadium. Yeah. We also have Mary Roberts Reinhardt and Avery Hoppel's play The Bat, based on Reinhardt's novel The Circular Staircase, premiered on Broadway in New York. This almost sounds like, like the setup to a murder. I use the bat on the circular staircase or something. From Clue.
I was thinking of the bird, the bat.
Oh, like a flying thing? Oh, okay. Well, it could be flying off a staircase too. Who knows? 1921, Austria and the U.S. formally ended the war. The U.S. did the same with Germany on the 25th and Hungary on the 29th. Okay? 21, British declared truce with Irish nationalist Sinn Féin. We also have British airship R-38 experienced structural failure over Hull in England and crashed in the Humber estuary. Of her 49 British and stadium training crew, only 4 survived. So they were training, and then they suffered a stroke. That's a terrible, like while you're training to suffer such a horrible thing to happen. 23, Captain Lowell Smith and Lieutenant John P. Richter performed the first mid-air refueling on a de Havilland DH-4B, setting an endurance flight record of 37 hours. Now, I could have sworn that we've covered this. This is 1923. You have a biplane refueling another biplane.
Yeah, I do remember something about refueling,
Yeah, but I remember this photo, but at the same time, am I remembering it from a year ago, 2 years ago? I've been doing the show a lot, so I don't know. 23 as well, Paavo Nurmi of Finland ran a world record of 1 mile with a time of 4 minutes, 10.4 seconds in Stockholm. The record stood until 1931, 8 years. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
24, Mars made its closest approach to Earth since the 10th century. Wow. 27, Italian anarchists Sacco and Vanzetti were executed after a lengthy, controversial trial. Wonder what they did. It's going to do
tell us something.
Yeah, Sacco and Vanzetti, okay, were Italian immigrants and anarchists controversially accused of murdering Alessandro Baradelli and Frederick Parmenter, a guard and a paymaster, did 2 different people there. During April 15th, 1920, armed robbery of the Slater and Morrow Shoe Company in Braintree, Massachusetts, U.S.
So they robbed and killed somebody.
Yeah, allegedly. 7 years later, they were executed in the electric chair, so they were found guilty, it sounds like, at Charleston State Prison on the same day as Calesino Medeiros, who had confessed to the crime. Most historians consider the conviction unfair due to prejudice against immigrants and radicals. So that is another thing right there. So Sacco and Vanzetti, if anybody wants to read more about this, that sounds unfortunate. There could have been a bias or something. So,
well, here you go. If that's not bias in itself.
Yeah. 29, Arab mobs attacked Jews in Jerusalem, mandatory Palestine, triggering a series of violent revolts. And other sources used to say Arabs attacked Jews in Israel. Time out. Israel didn't exist until 48.
Right.
Now, other source says now Hebron massacre during the 29 Palestine riots. Arab attacks on the Jewish community in Hebron and the British mandated Palestine occurred, continuing until the next day, resulting in the death of between 65 to 68 Jews, and the remaining Jews being forced to leave the city. That's terrible. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like the existence of Israel makes no sense. After things like this, why would you say, oh, hey, let's just put a whole bunch of Jews right back in there? What do you expect is going to happen? 1930, first British Empire Games closed in Hamilton, Canada. 31, Philadelphia A's Lefty Grove lost 1-0 to the Browns after winning 16 straight. Wow. 33, first televised boxing match, a 6-round exhibition at Broadcasting House in London between middleweights Archie Sexton and Laurie Rattieri, aired on BBC TV. Now, I have this right here, 1933. This is, I think, afterwards or something, celebrating. It just said something about the championships. I think that's the guy. Maybe a newsreel thing or something. So it's not the actual match.
Yeah.
It just says Primo Carrera boxing champion, 33. So it's about the champion, not the actual match. But then we have first boxing match ever filmed, the June 1894, Mike Leonard versus Jack Crushing.
Wow.
But 1894, how was recording any video? Was it around yet?
I don't know.
So, and we have right here, this is the first boxing match ever filmed. So if this predates it by 37 years, right here. Huh. Alright. So I'm going to throw this link in the underbar here. First boxing match, question mark. I mean, it's just wild. So, 1933, Mahatma Gandhi was released from Indian jail following another hunger strike. I'm still amazed he was an attorney.
I was just going to say he must have had a bad attorney.
Oh. Well, he was an attorney. Yeah.
That's the joke.
Well, see, like, it works because you know, I don't think most people even knew. We didn't. So it's a good thing we both said what we said.
Yeah.
1936, 17-year-old Cleveland Indians future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller played his first MLB game as a starter and struck out 15 St. Louis Browns in a 4-1 win at League Park in Cleveland. That's a heck of a way to start.
Yeah.
38, You Can't Take It With You, from the play by George S. Kaufman and Moss Hart, directed by Frank Capra and starring James Stewart and Jean Arthur, premiered and won Best Picture in 39. 38, England scored 903 declared against Australia, with Len Hutton scoring 364. Whatever that means, cricket. 39, British motorist John Cobb broke the land speed record, reaching 365.85 miles per hour in 39? 589.74 kilometers per hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats. I mean, like, the location isn't what, you know, surprises me. The speed. 365 miles an hour and 39? How is that even possible? It's crazy. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Like, I'm going to image search this just to see, like, what vehicle...
Would they get in a rocket or something?
In that, whatever that is. That's weird.
What does that say underneath?
Present holder of the world's land speed record, John something, and we're talking about John Cobb. Stock image. I'm just going to click this. John Cobb, in his rally then, which attained 369.7 miles per hour in 39. So this is even faster.
A year later.
No, the same year, 39.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, it's okay.
365 what?
365.85, and then this is 369.7.
Oh,
so
okay.
maybe another run? Like...
Could be.
Oh. What else we got here? 1939. Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union agreed to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Non-Aggression Pact and secretly divided Poland between themselves, setting the stage for World War II. So, from other source, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. In a secret protocol to the pact, Poland, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Romania were divided into German and Soviet spheres of influence. And Germany would go on to invade, I believe, on September 1st, later that very same year, 39. 1940, German Luftwaffe began night bombing in London. That's not good. Mom's time. Except 1 year later, 42, Battle of Stalingrad. 600 Luftwaffe planes bombed Stalingrad, killing 40,000 people. Beginning the Battle of Stalingrad. Wow. But I looked it up, and the Battle of Stalingrad started before this. So, Stalingrad. Like it says here, where is it? July 17th, 42. Well, it's far past July 17th right now.
Yeah,
so,
over a month.
Yeah. So I wonder what this is considering that, you know, for the initial. Because, you know, 600 planes bombing, killing 40,000 people sounds like a pretty, you know, accurate opener right there.
Well,
but
maybe that's when they may have been going at it for a month or so, and then they started bombing.
42, first U.S. flights landed on Guadalcanal. We also have the last cavalry charge in history took place during World War II at Ibizhevsk, Russia, when the Italian Savoia Cavalry charged Soviet infantry. Yeah, there's an actual, like, this is a photo of it right here. Like, not sure if this is a reenactment or, like, some war correspondent, like, they didn't have many of them back then, you know, like, in World War II. Like, I mean, they had, you know, people taking pictures and everything, but, like, not actively in the battlefield, right. I don't think. So, what else do we got? Yeah, you know, check that out. Look at that. You know, World War II, they're charging with lances on the horse.
That's crazy.
Look at the helmet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, it reminds me a lot of like, Sid Meier's Civilization and everything.
1942, Walter Johnson pitched to Babe Ruth in a pregame attraction that drew 69,000 for the New York, that's weird, NYY Washington MLB doubleheader at, New York Yankee in Washington, MLB doubleheader at Yankee Stadium, and raised $80,000 for Army Navy relief. That's pretty cool. And I'm actually going to, look up this charge. I've seen several videos of it on YouTube and everything, so I'm going to throw this in the underbar if anybody wants to read up on it and maybe inspired to watch a video. So, last cavalry charge. Let's put that in there. 1943, Battle of Kursk, the largest tank battle in history, ended after 50 days as the Soviet Union defeated Germany. Over 10,000 tanks took part, and nearly 250,000 combatants were killed. 250,000 in one battle in 50 days. 10,000 tanks. 10,000 tanks. How is there that much steel in the world for 10,000 tanks? That is crazy. Holy crap, dude. 43, Red Army captured Charkow. So during World War II, Kharkiv, was liberated by the Soviet Red Army for the second time after the Battle of Kursk. 44, 94.5 degrees Fahrenheit, or 34.7 Celsius in Die Blit, Netherlands, and 101.5 Fahrenheit, or 38.6 Celsius in Warrensfield. That's toasty. That's not just toasty, that's hot.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to use code words anymore. That's just straight up hell. 44, Drancy internment camp in Drancy was liberated. All right. 44, Romanian royal coup. King Michael ordered forces to ceasefire against allies and dismissed pro-Axis Prime Minister Marshal Ian Antonescu. So it says here, other source, World War II, King Michael of Romania dismissed the pro-Nazi government of Marshal Antonescu, whom was later arrested. Romania switched sides from the Axis to the Allies. All right, just like Italy. 44, USB 24 crashed into a school in Freckleton, England, killing 76. Yeah, United States Army Air Force's B-24 Liberator bomber crashed into that school, killing 61 people from other source. So 61 to 76 people. So. 45, during World War II as well, Soviet-Japanese War, the USSR State Defense Committee issued decree number 9898-CC, quotes, about receiving accommodation and labor utilization of the Japanese Army prisoners of war, end quotes. 46, Loons time. We have the 13th NFL Chicago All-Star Game, All-Star 16 in Los Angeles 0, in front of 97,380 attendees. That's weird. How come it's either, it's either the All-Stars get 0 or the other people get 0? It doesn't seem like there's scoring on both sides. That's weird. But this is the third or fourth game that we've covered, the past month that they won. Usually the All-Stars lose.
Yeah, up until the last few times.
Yeah. 46, Ordinance number 46 of the British military government constituted the German Länder, the states of Hanover and Schleswig-Holstein. We also have premiere of the Big Sleep, directed by Howard Hawks and starring Humphrey Bogart as Philip Marlowe and Lauren Bacall, respectively, I believe. Bacall. 48, Swedish diplomat Folke Bernadotte of the United Nations asked for aid for fugitives to Palestine. Here we go. I'm gonna look this up here really quick. I have a note here that just says what. So that just tells me about this guy here. So. Something's going on about Palestine. Oh, 48. Yeah, this is before. I guess. Probably because Israel is attacking Palestine again. Probably because we covered Israel's starts a couple weeks ago in 48.
Yeah.
This is 48. So we also have World Council of Churches was formed by 147 churches from 44 countries. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. So,
never heard of that.
I think we've covered this before.
I wonder if it still exists today.
I would be surprised if it didn't. World Council of Churches, interchurch organization. Yeah, it's still around. Now it's at 356 member churches.
Okay.
Started with 147. So, all right. So let's see. World Council of Churches. Oh, interesting. So, yeah, it's a worldwide Christian interchurch organization founded in 48 to work for the cause of ecumenism. Its full members today include the Assyrian Church of the East, most jurisdictions of the Eastern Orthodox Church, including the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, the Oriental Orthodox Churches, the Union of Utrecht, The Lutheran World Federation, the Anglican Communion, the Mennonite Churches, the World Methodist Council, the Baptist World Alliance, World Communion of Reformed Churches, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Wow, this is epic. So, which, by the way, I've been thinking seriously about, because the Knights Hospitaller, apparently, from the major three crusading forces, we all know about the Knights Templar, the Knights Hospitaller, and I forgot the third one. Were they just called Crusaders? I think they were. There's another name, but the Hospitallers are still around today as an organization,
Okay.
and I've been thinking seriously about joining them. So, yeah,
You know anything about them?
a little bit.
Okay.
The guy in Kingdom of Heaven, we saw that the other week. The movie.
Yeah.
The guy in the black, the knight. He was the Knights Hospitaller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's the actual accurate. They were the Knights in black.
Yeah.
So, 1950, West Germany and Japan were West Germany and Japan were readmitted to the International Amateur Athletic Federation. 52, Arab League Security Pact went into effect. All right, I'm gonna just do a quick surface level scratch of that to see what is that. Okay, well, it's not telling me anything right there. So, if anybody can let us know in the comment section, what this Arab League Security Pact specifically, what it entails, that'd be great. And at 52 as well, MLB San Francisco Giants batter Bob Elliott was ejected for arguing a strike. Bobby Hoffman completed his at-bat, struck out, and was also ejected for arguing. Wow. Kitty Wells became the first woman to reach #1 on the Billboard Country Chart with "It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels" and stayed at the top for 15 weeks. Well, I mean, God made everything, so wouldn't it have been God? But here's this song right here. So, oh, whoops. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Good old honky tonk song. Oh, yeah. What else we got here? 53, former Boston Braves pitcher Phil Payne became the first major leaguer to play in Japan while on military service with the U.S. Air Force, playing the first of 9 games for the Nihonshu Lions. 53 as well. Phil Great set a record for throwing a baseball 443 feet and 3 inches, or 135.1 meter. Remember last Saturday?
That's quite a throw.
Yeah, remember, I said last Saturday, that's yesterday. Saturday. We covered the guy in the long basketball thing, 400 something feet. So, yeah.
No, it made it in that hoop?
Yeah.
No, it was like 20 or 40 feet.
Oh, okay, maybe 40 feet. Yeah, you're right. 54, first flight of the C-130 Hercules transport aircraft, Lockheed C-130 multi-role aircraft. Right here, this guy.
Yeah.
So, we all know about this guy. We've seen the C-130 Hercules. And today, I think it's still very useful. There you go. And there's that bird. 54 as well, President Gutierrez Vargas of Brazil resigned temporarily. Was it temporarily? I wonder. 58, musical Marie Ashton completed a 133-hour piano marathon at the Plaza Central Cinema in England, setting a female record for continuous piano playing. I would be surprised if that record was broken. 133 hours? That's ridiculous.
24.
Yeah.
240 is 10 days, so even half of that. Wow, 5-6 days she played straight.
5.5, yeah. Yeah. Wow. We also have People's Republic of China resumed bombardment of the Quemoy and Matsu Islands in the Second Taiwan Strait Crisis. So, yeah, the Second Taiwan Strait Crisis began with the People's Liberation Army's bombardment of Quemoy. 1960, the world's largest frog, not that one, there we go, a Goliath frog weighing 3.3 kilograms, was found in Equatorial Guinea. So, and I actually looked this up here. And it says, with a staggering weight of 7.2 pounds, 3.25 kilograms, and a length of up to 13 inches, 33 centimeters.
Yeah. The
The Goliath frog is the largest frog on Earth. Male frogs often create ponds for their tadpoles by moving sand and stones 2/3 of their own body weight. And, look at this thing. That's a fully grown man. That's not a kid. That's a guy, And that frog is almost big enough, to wrestle him. It's ridiculous. Dude, hold on a second. this frog is shredded. Like, can't see it that well. Look at those abs, man.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. That's ridiculous. 1960, Vilma Espin reorganized the Democratic Federation of Cuban Women into the Federation of Cuban Women and served as its president until her death in 2007. Well, sounds like an organizational dictator to me, serving until her death. 61, Belgians send troops to Rwanda, Uruguay. I wonder why. East Germany imposed new curbs on travel between West and East Berlin. Ranger 1, a U.S. test flight, failed to reach its intended high Earth orbit. It re-entered and burnt up on August 30th, 1961. So like one of our test, rockets to get up into space. 62, first Europe to U.S. live TV program via Telestar. Wow. So, like, we go within 1 year from not even being able to reach space to now we're broadcasting.
Yeah.
In 1 year, exactly. That's awesome. 63, Beatles released single "She Loves You" in the UK. Drummer Ringo Starr revealed he wrote a song titled "Don't Pass Me By" in an interview. The Beatles don't record it until 1968, 5 years, or whenever he wrote the song.
Yeah.
Could have written it 3 years before this. 66, Lunar Orbiter 1 took the first photograph of Earth from the moon. Not that one. Well, that's way too big. Hold on a second, right here. Get rid of that. This one, right here. First photograph of the Earth up from the moon. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And this is what, like 5-6 years after the burning up thing? 5 years. Ranger 1. The Ranger 1, the test flight fails to reach its intended high Earth orbit. It re-enters, and it burns up. 1966, the Beatles' last New York City concert took place in Queens at Shea Stadium before a crowd of 45,000 with 11,000 unsold seats. 68, Ringo temporarily quit the Beatles over a disagreement and rejoined the group after a holiday in Sardinia. Oh, okay. They just needed to blow off some steam and get some fresh air there. 68, Yankees and Tigers played a 3-3 tie in 19 innings due to a 1 a.m. curfew. 1 a.m. I'm leaving 5 hours ago. I have to sleep.
Yeah.
69, France's Une de Mai won the International Trot at Roosevelt Raceway, becoming the first non-stadium since 1912 to win a cycling race title. Oh. Wow. 1970, Roberto Clemente compiled his record second consecutive 5-hit game. Organized by Mexican Stadium labor union leader Cesar Chavez, the Salad Bowl strike, the largest farm worker strike in U.S. history, began. And I tell you what, farmers across the world, not just in the United States or in Canada or in Belgium, Luxembourg, Johannesburg, wherever the hell, we the people need to stand up. They're getting so screwed. In Europe, they're getting screwed here. My goodness.
Well, he generated a lot of interest. A lot of people supported that union, and they didn't order lettuce or anything like that. They didn't buy any lettuce or anything.
Yeah. So the Salad Bowl strike, 72, MLB Chicago White Sox slugger Dick Allen became the fourth player to homer in the Comiskey Park center field bleachers, a feat previously achieved by only Jimmy Fox, Hank Greenberg, and Alex Johnson. Oh, the list is getting long. I wouldn't use the word only anymore.
Yeah.
72, Republican convention in Miami Beach, Florida, renominated Vice President Spiro Agnew, but not unanimously, as one vote went to NBC newsman David Brinkley. 73, Intelsat communications satellite was launched. All right. Normal strong robbery and 6-day siege began in Stockholm, the first Swedish crime filmed on live TV. And over the next 5 days, the hostages began to sympathize with their captors, leading to the creation of the term Stockholm Syndrome. Yep. So I'm actually going to look that up here really quick, just so that way people can fully understand. Stockholm Syndrome. It is a disputed disorder in pop psychology characterized by the tendency of hostages to develop a psychological bond with their captors. It is named after an attempted bank robbery, as we just read right here. So, despite its prominence in pop culture, Stockholm Syndrome has never been included in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM, the authoritative guide for diagnosis of psychiatric. Well, it obviously is one, so I don't need a freaking committee to tell me what I need to believe. So, Stockholm Syndrome.
The most famous is Patty Hearst.
Yeah, I was just going to bring her up.
Yeah.
So, 74, John Lennon reported seeing a UFO in New York. Oh, look at that. There's a UFO. I don't know what that is. It's a flying object. It's unidentified. Oh, what do you see? What do you say, Ringo?
Maybe he was the one flying.
But yeah, like I want to go back to the whole Patty Hearst thing. Just if you can summarize to the audience, what that was.
Well, they kidnapped her.
And she was the heiress to a newspaper
It was
thing.
the Hearst family, very wealthy.
Yep.
I believe it was the Black Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, for ransom, and stuck her in a closet, and kept talking to her, and I guess she fell in love with one of the guys in there and joined him.
Yikes.
She held up banks with him and everything else.
Yeah.
And she did end up going to prison, which I don't think was right.
Well, actions have consequences, even if you're not in control of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, how did she get kidnapped? Was she being stupid and walking down the street alone? Like, I don't know.
I believe she was in the university or whatever.
Huh.
I mean, if you're walking down the street alone in broad daylight, that's not being stupid. But I believe she was at the university when they kidnapped her. I believe. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. 75, British free guitarist Paul Kossoff was revived after a heart attack, but later died the next year in 76. I don't like the word dies for good in 76. Second source, what the hell? What the heck is a free guitarist? Why is that in quotations?
I don't know.
Like 75, well, where are you? Right here. British free guitarist.
I don't know.
Like, weird. I'm gonna look this up here really quick, just to see if there's anything. Just tells me about Paul Kossoff. Wow, he only lived 36 years old. That's very unfortunate. Huh. 1975, Classical Way won the championship cup at Roosevelt Raceway. That's the name of the horse. Communists took over in Laos. 75 as well, Ethiopian junta under Mogadishu Haile Mariam. What? Formed? Disbanded? Like what? What? This is not telling me anything beyond what this is.
No.
75, Philip Kaplu conducted the first Jukai ceremony in Poland. What the heck is a Jukai ceremony? Like, Buddhist initiation. Oh, okay. So, initiating in Poland, Polish Buddhists.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, Jukai ceremony. Why is that not capitalized? I'm gonna capitalize that. It's weird. 75 as well. The start of the Wave Hill Walk-Off by Gurjini people in Australia, lasting 8 years, a landmark event in the history of Indigenous land rights in Australia, commemorated in the 1991 Paul Kelly song and an annual celebration. The Pontiac Silverdome opened in Pontiac, Michigan, 30 miles or 48 kilometers northwest of Detroit, Michigan. I've heard about the Silverdome. So, let's image search this really quick.
Yeah, I believe they play football there.
Oh, that's a big dome.
Yeah.
It opens. What? Is this the same one? That doesn't look right. The roof is different. Like, no, that does not open. Huh. Weird.
Show the one again?
No, the body's
that's an
different.
oval and everything.
Yeah, that's a whole different, yeah. 1976, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck China, killing thousands. Yikes. 77, first human-powered flight over a mile by Brian Allen in the Gossamer Condor, designed by Paul McReady, wins the first Premier Prize. I think we've spoken about this aircraft before. Yeah, we have. Do you recognize this? With a silhouette?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, we've spoken about this. That was, I think, when they went over the English Channel or something. So, 77, Marxist philosopher Rudolf Barrow was imprisoned in East Germany. Well, that's what you get for being Marxist, you psycho. 77, U.S. Governor Marvin Mendel was convicted of 17 counts of mail fraud and 1 count of racketeering. That's not good. 78, Iranian students occupy the Iranian embassy in Weissenar. Why? Because of Iraq, maybe? Invading? 78? No.
No, that's too soon.
What's going on with Iraq?
78, isn't that when they... but that's a student, so...
Iran hostage crisis. Oh.
So it is the Iran hostage.
Huh.
That's what with that date...
No, this is well before that. The hostage crisis was in 79. We're in 78.
Okay.
So what the hell? You almost had it.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Just going by the date, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure when they.
Well, no, like I looked this up, and this is saying this.
79.
Yeah. So this is still this didn't yield me anything. 79 as well, United Nations Vienna office opened. All right. 1980, Charles O'Finley sold the Oakland A's MLB franchise for $12.7 million to Walter Haas Jr., owner and CEO of Levi Strauss, the jeans.
Ah.
So, yeah. 82, Seattle Mariners pitcher Gaylord Perry was ejected for throwing a spitter. That sentence almost sounds like it came out of, like, an adult movie right there. Someone named Gaylord Perry ejected for throwing a spitter. What's wrong with my brain?
Oh, man.
1985, Paul Hornung was awarded $1,160,000 by a Louisville court against the NCAA, which barred him as a college football analyst for betting on games. Yeah. 85, South African attorney and UDF leader Dula Omar was arrested. What's in my mouth? It's weird. Piece of pasta. 85 as well. West German troop counter-espionage agent Hans Sieges moved to East Germany. Ayo's time.
Hey.
I'm already over the clock here, so let's get on with it. 87. A 15-year-old boy hijacked KLM B737, a radio station, and demanded $1 billion.
Oh, man.
What the fuck?
I don't think he got it.
I think he got 1 billion lashes. 87 as well, heavy rainfall and floods in Bangladesh killed hundreds of people. Mike Tyson in 88 and Mitch Green brawled at 4 in the morning in Harlem, New York City. Go to bed, you lunatic.
Yeah.
89, the LA Dodgers defeated the Montreal Expos 1-0 in 22 innings with a home run by Rick Dempsey. Now that either means that they're both very good or they both suck. It's either one or the other. 89, 2 million people formed a human chain across Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania in a peaceful pro-independence demonstration against the Soviet occupation. Hell yes. On the Vilnius Tallinn Road, holding hands. That's awesome. I love it when people get together for a common cause like this. That's actually righteous, That's epic.
Yeah.
Look at that. 1990, Armenia declared its independence from the Soviet Union. Great. East and West Germany announced they will reunite on October 3rd. Do you remember when they reunited?
Well, it says October 3rd, but...
Yeah, but I'm wondering, did they reunite then, or was it later?
Oh, I don't know.
East and West Germany reunite.
It's a big deal, though. I don't remember the exact dates or times or anything else.
Unite. Yeah. Okay, 1990, yada yada. Okay. There you go. Let's see here. German reunification began on November 9th, 1989, and culminated on October 3rd, 1990. So it did. They honored their word. All right. German reunification.
Well, West Germany was so rich and wealthy, and East Germany was just broke and poor.
Yeah. Well, because of the commies.
Yeah.
And everything. So. We also had the U.S. began call up of 46,000 reservists to the Persian Gulf. We covered that a little bit yesterday. A connected article here. Saddam Hussein appeared on Iraqi state television with a number of Western guests. They were actually hostages to try to prevent the Gulf War. What an idiot. 91, the World Wide Web was open to the public. The internet. You see right here, the actual URL, the www, that stands for World Wide Web.
Yep.
So, confirm I'm not a robot. I am not a robot. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Why did I get that? That was weird. So, 92, Dennis Alkersley, who previously set the record for most consecutive saves at 40, was the first pitcher to record 40 saves in 4 different seasons. Wilhelm Verwoerd, grandson of former South African Prime Minister Hendrik Verwoerd, the main architect of apartheid. So the grandson of the main architect of apartheid. Join the African National Congress! Fuck you, Granddad! Oh, I love it. I love it. Truth, justice, righteousness always will prevail. 93, Fred McGriff and David Justice were the 6th to hit back-to-back home runs twice in the same game.
Ooh.
Who were the first? I wonder. And who's on first? 94, Jeff Buckley released his album Grace featuring his cover of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Eugene Bullard, the only black stadium pilot in World War I, was posthumously, well, of course, I mean, if he fought in World War I, he'd be very much dead today.
Yeah.
Posthumously commissioned as second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. All right. Made it up to second lieutenant. That's pretty cool. 95, Indians Jose Mesa set a record with his 38th consecutive save. Team record or league? And once again. 96, Osama bin Laden issued a message entitled A Declaration of War Against the Americans Occupying the Land of the Two Holy Places. Okay, well, how did that work out for you? 98, San Francisco Giants slugger Barry Bonds became the first MLB player to hit 400 home runs and steal 400 bases in a career when he homers off Florida Marlins Kurt Ojala at Pro Player Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. I wonder who the second one was.
Back to Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
At one time, he was He allied with the U.S.
Yeah.
when he was helping fight the Russians in Afghanistan.
Yes, he was a CIA asset, and we were a very pivotal component in the creation of Al Qaeda as a proxy war. Puppet army to fight the Russians.
We armed
somewhere
them
else
and everything else. Yes.
Yeah.
And his beef was exactly what it says there in 98, which is obviously you know what it led
96.
to. 96.
Yeah.
Because we had troops in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And that was just unacceptable to him.
We shouldn't be allied with Saudi Arabia. They are not our friends. Anyway, the year 2000, a Gulf Air Airbus A320 crashed into the Persian Gulf near Manama, Bahrain, killing 143 people. So Gulf Air Flight 072, if you want to look that up here. 2000 as well, Nicaragua became a member of the Berne Convention Copyright Treaty, essentially deprecating the Buenos Aires Convention Treaty because all members of the BA Convention are all signatories to Berne. Huh. Okay, what does that mean? Isn't that what they did? This essentially deprecated the Buenos Aires Convention Treaty because, as of this date, all members of the BA, the Berne, the BA Convention, were also signatories to Berne. What does that mean, though?
I don't know.
Signatories to Berne.
Apparently it was a conflict or something. Conflict of interest, maybe? I don't know.
But, hold on a second. I'm just going to look that up. Signatories to Berne. Berne Convention. Or I guess, maybe are they saying that it became a member without signing? But how do you become a member?
I don't know.
That's weird. 2004, a stadium sweep in the 400-meter medals at the Athens Olympics. Jeremy Wariner won gold in 44 seconds ahead of Otis Harris and Derek Brew. That's weird. 2004.
Yeah.
And where is it? Here we go.
Athens Olympics.
400 meter in 44 seconds. What's with all the fours going on today? We also have outstanding British athlete Kelly Holmes won the first leg of her 1500 meter double at the Athens Olympics, taking the gold medal in 1 minute 56.38 seconds. Winning pitcher Lisa Fernandez 4-0 led the U.S. to the softball gold medal at the Athens Olympics, defeating Australia 5-1. 2005, here we go. Hurricane Katrina formed over the Bahamas and later became a Category 5 hurricane.
Yep.
Yep. We know what's coming soon now.
Amazing it's that far back.
Yeah.
You know, that's 21 years.
Yeah. Wow, you're right. That's old enough to drink and buy a gun. 2006, Natasha Kampusch, abducted at the age of 10, managed to escape from her captor Wolfgang Prierkeroll after 8 years of captivity. Her entire childhood robbed. You know?
Yeah.
Greta Thunberg needs to shut the fuck up. You know? She sits there and complains about childhood stolen. Look at this lady. Literally became an adult and was finally strong enough to free herself. That's horrible. 2007, the hashtag, the pound sign, the key, was invented and first used, quote unquote, in a tweet by U.S. product designer Chris Messina. Wrong. The pound sign has been around forever, you know, and I'm sure that people were using that as a replacement for the word number in tweets. So this is literally just self-serving propaganda, misinformation, bullshit to push the stupid hashtag pound sign thing. And what a lot of people don't realize is with the whole Me Too movement, you're literally saying pound Me Too. You're literally saying that. So, a bit counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. 2007, the skeletal remains of Russia's last royal family members, Alexei Nikolaevich Tarik of Russia and his sister, Grand Duchess Anastasia, were discovered near Yekaterinburg, Russia. And remember we were talking about some lady who claimed that she was Anastasia and said that until the day she died, you know, never said otherwise? Well, they found the real one.
Yeah.
So she is a living example, well, not living anymore, but a proving example that a lot of people will lie until the day they die. A lot of people are very nasty and everything, but it seems to come from one side of humanity more than the other.
You don't know, maybe she believed it.
Well, then she's crazy, and that's really sad. So, 2008, Australian diver Matthew Mitcham won the men's 10-meter platform gold medal with a final dive at the Beijing Olympics, preventing the Chinese from winning every diving event and achieving the highest score for an individual dive in Olympic history, 112.10. That was difficult to go from Australia to Trump and back to Australia. Yeah. 2008 midfielder Angel Di Maria scored a 58th minute winner at as Argentina defeated Nigeria 1-0 to win the men's football gold medal at the Beijing Olympics. 89,102 attended at the National Stadium. The star-studded stadium women's basketball team, led by Lisa Leslie Sue Bird. Is that Larry Bird's daughter, Sue Bird?
No.
Okay.
No relation whatsoever.
And Diana Taurasi won the gold medal at the Beijing Olympics with a convincing 92-65 victory over Australia. Heck yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure, Caitlin Clark is a good one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If she was back there, you know, it would have been in the hundreds. Caitlin Clark, one of the greatest.
Except she would have been 5 years old or something.
Yeah, you know, still really good. So. 2010, a hostage crisis occurred at the Cremiro Grandstand in Manila, where a dismissed police officer took hostage a tour bus full of Chinese nationalists. That's not good. It says ultimately killing 9 people, including the perpetrator, while injuring 9 others. Wow. And this is on the anniversary of the Stockholm thing, when that one started. It's kind of weird. 2011, a 5.8 earthquake occurred in Mineral, Virginia, and was felt as far north as Ontario and as far south as Atlanta, Georgia. Wow.
Jeez, that really travels.
Yeah, class moderate earthquake occurred in Virginia. Damage occurred to monuments and structures in Washington, D.C., and the resulting damage was estimated at $200 to $300 million US.
Wow.
Dang. We also have Libyan leader Muammar al-Gaddafi was overthrown after the National Transcendental Council forces took control of the Bab al-Aziza compound during the 2011 Libyan civil war. And at some point, they stuck a knife up his rear end. It didn't kill him, but it led to, a popular internet term for a while, getting Gaddafi.
Oh.
Getting a knife stuck up you. You know?
Yeah.
Specifically the poop chute. 2012, 4 people were killed and 28 injured in a hot air balloon accident in Slovenia. Yikes. Ljubljana. If I can't pronounce this, J is not supposed to come after L. You know, that's weird. That's not fair. 2013, 50 people were killed in a mosque bombings in Tripoli, Lebanon. Multiple bombings, multiple mosques. It's terrible. 2013, UN inspectors were stopped by the Syrian government from investigating a reported site of a chemical massacre. That's suspicious.
Yeah.
A riot at the Palmarosa prison complex in Santa Cruz, Bolivia, killed 21 people. 1 year later, Alex Puccio placed second in the Boulder World Championship in Munich, Germany. First off, who is the first? Secondly, what the hell is the Boulder World Championship?
Throwing boulders.
World climbing.
Oh.
So it's climbing, okay. All right. But second question, who is the first one?
Yeah.
You know, why are we talking about the second one? That's so weird.
That is weird.
Like, right here. Actually, hold on a second. Oh, okay. Well, probably because she's a stadium. So, or probably because she's female. So. Maybe it's like, you know, intergender. They have male and female climbing together. I don't know. 2015, a 12-year-old boy tripped and ripped the 17th century painting Flowers, Paola Papora, worth $1.5 million at an exhibition in Taiwan. You know, I may have been a real handful as a child. I may have been the reason why you're now gray and thinning. But at least I didn't destroy a $1.5 million painting.
No, you didn't.
You know, I did not destroy it, but still, you know, cause that. So, yeah. 2015 as well. Destruction by ISIS was the first century AD temple of Baal Shaman in the ancient ruins of Palmyra was confirmed by Syrian officials. So they're out there. ISIS is blowing up. You know, first century, you know, temples and everything. Now, this was to Baal Shaman or whatever, and it says, Baal Shamin, which Baal, that's an evil god. So, if this is to Baal, then I actually support ISIS destroying it because, you know, that is an evil deity. You know, Baal. So. What else we got here? 2015, English IndyCar driver Justin Wilson suffered a head injury during a race crash at Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. I wonder if he's okay, if he recovered or anything. So, 2017, India's toll from swine flu rose above 1,000 for the year, with 22,186 cases reported. 2017, nearly 60 million people in the Indus Valley in Pakistan are at risk from arsenic, according to research published in Science Advances. U.S. Navy fired Vice Admiral Joseph Aucoin as commander of the 7th Fleet following a series of collisions in Asian waters. That's weird. World's driest place, the Atacama Desert in Chile, bloomed after unexpected rainfall. That must have been a sight. Blooming in the desert. Oh! Wow!
Look at that.
That's all desert. Like, you can tell by the mountains.
Yeah.
But, you know, look at that! That's fantastic. That's epic. Wow, nature's incredible. 2018, tenor Placido Domingo sung for his 150th opera role in Bizet's The Pearl Fishers at the Salzburg Festival in Austria. 2019, Russia launched the first floating nuclear power station, the Akademika Lomozlos, from the port of Murmansk.
Doesn't sound like a good idea.
You'd think so, but it's actually a ship, a nuclear-powered ship, that now they have at permanent anchor, and they're just using it as a power station rather than powering a ship. They're just, you know, so which is pretty interesting, you know, considering that we spoke about, you know, the world's first civilian nuclear-powered ship and everything. And if
something goes wrong, it contaminates the water around there forever.
You do have a point. So I retract every praise that I was about to give. Because it sounds, you know, well, very much like communism on paper, it sounds fine, but in practice, you know, it's not so good. 2020, Stadium black man Jacob Blake was shot and injured by police in front of his children in Kenosha, Wisconsin, prompting violent protests at Kenosha. Here we go.
Wow.
Yep. We also have Kellyanne Conway, advisor to President Trump, announced she is stepping away from the White House for family reasons. Okay. U.S. Republican Party convention began by formally renominating Donald Trump for his second presidential term. 2021, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, granted full approval to Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for people 16 and over, the first vaccine to move past emergency use status in the U.S. And do not forget this guy, Donald Trump, he expedited the vaccine. Now this guy here seems to think that, you know, Trump was fooled by Fauci, which he may have, but
he is trying to solve a problem. I disagree with that. I don't like what he did.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not arguing with you.
Oh, no, I'm not. What I'm saying is I think Trump knew. I mean, at the end of the day, ultimately, all these people, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, Donald Trump, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, you know, Hillary Clinton, Elon Musk, everybody of these wealthy globalist elitists, you know, it doesn't matter. They're all in the big club against you. You know, against me, against you.
I don't like anything he did.
know?
I don't like he shut down the entire economy.
Yeah.
You know, forced people to stay home in their house. It's all wrong.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, you know, like, Trump is just a freaking dancing stooge on the stage playing his part for the whatever this puppet masters, the real controllers of this planet, want. So, what else do we got here? 2021, video evidence of a... This one's wild. This one's absolutely wild. Video evidence of a Seychelles giant tortoise hunting and eating a bird revealed for the first time. Tortoises previously thought to be herbivores. A tortoise, like Tank.
Yeah, I know.
Eating, like hunting. How does something like that hunt?
I don't know.
But here it is.
Astonishing moment. An Aldebaran.
Now I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Tortoise hunts
but like right
and
here.
kills a knotty turned chick. It could change what scientists thought they knew about the species. A study of the slow-speed hunt has been published in the scientific journal Current Biology.
You got him.
Yeah. Huh.
I would have never imagined in a million billion years seeing a tortoise. Now I know turtles, eat fish and everything. The swimming ones. Tortoises are land turtles.
Yeah.
So I never would have imagined a tortoise
No.
hunting. Like eating meat is one thing. I've seen videos of there's this one specifically, a cow eating a baby chicken. Like everything eats meat, even herbivores. At the end of the day, everything needs that protein and everything. So all these vegans and vegetarians, they are so anti-nature, they don't even realize it. But a tortoise not only eating meat, but hunting, actively hunting, that blows my mind. So, 2022, former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak began a 12-year prison sentence for money laundering after the High Court rejected his final appeal. In a U.S. domestic terrorism case, 2 men were found guilty of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that.
And the first thing I thought of was that one episode of the Boondocks where they planned to kidnap Oprah.
Oh,
Like you haven't, of course, you haven't seen
She
it,
even smells
but
good. She's
right here.
I see Oprah.
Yeah,
My security just left her alone. Go.
Let's roll.
they end up kidnapping Maya Angelou.
Riley said that ain't open. Who the hell is it?
The Boondocks were such a great show. Anyway, 2022, Nicki Minaj's single "Super Freaky Girl" debuted as #1, the first female rapper to do so since Lauryn Hill in 1998 with "Doo Wop That Thing." Wow, what a trashy legacy to have. Trash. 2023, at least 26 people were killed after a railway bridge under construction collapsed near the Indian town of Sarang in Morzadov State. Greek wildfires claimed 20 lives, including 18 migrants trying to cross the border from Turkey. Maybe they shouldn't be trying to illegally immigrate. 2023, India's Chandrayaan-3 lunar mission was the first to land at the moon's southern pole successfully and made India the 4th country to ever land on the moon. This is the first, Indian moon landing successfully. Epic, Yevgeny Prigozhin, head of the Wagner mercenary group, was reported killed along with 9 others in a plane crash northwest of Moscow, according to the Russian Federal Air Transport Agency. That sounds a little suspicious there. Remember the whole Wagner thing and everything? During the Ukraine war, Wagner almost went rogue and they. So I think that this was a hit afterwards.
Maybe.
So a business jet carrying key leadership members of the Russian private military company Wagner Group crashed, killing all 10 people on board. Suspicious as hell. 2 articles left. 2 years ago, 2024, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels stole a base and hit a grand slam in a 7-3 win at home over Tampa Bay, becoming just the 6th MLB player to have 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases in a season. He does so in the fewest number of games as well, 126. Wow.
Yeah.
And last but not least, U.S. Independence presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. suspended his campaign and endorsed Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar description below for any links that you may find interesting. These links we gathered will appear in about 5-10 minutes after the end of the stream. Anyway, what's the code word? Let us know that this is watching up until this point.
Let's see here. What do we got? Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Nuclear. Put nuclear in the comment section. Let us know that you're still watching until this point. Anyway, a lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. All 43 pages of this document, the past hour and 24 minutes of this show, this all happened on this calendar day throughout all these years. August 23rd. This was all on August 23rd. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing this every day for this whole year. It never ceases to amaze me how much history there is. It's crazy. Anyway, we do have other shows. We have a news show every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We the first Sunday of every month we have IOYO. I'm okay, you're okay, at 3 p.m. as well. And then we do this show, the History Show, at 5 p.m. Pacific Time every single day, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you who know of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU, thank you so much for coming in. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection. Rate 5 subs and subscribe. Toodles! Good job. And